Yes.
Do you think the fact that your grandparents went through the Holocaust has made you more active in helping this cause instead of Iraq or Iran?
Definitely. I grew up with my grandparents always saying never again, never again. And in my synagogue, there were Jews from the concentration camps who had the numbers when they were prisoners there tattooed on their arms. And they made sure never to wear long sleeves. So we would always know that hopefully when our public officials said never again, that they meant it. But I'm just as concerned with other world crises. I just focus a lot on genocide because two reasons. It's the world's worst crime against humanity, and two, we can stop it. This is man-made. It's not the tsunami, it's not Katrina where we're trying to react to a natural disaster. These are human beings trying to hurt other human beings.
As a practical matter, as you look at the world geopolitical situation, the United States militarily is stretched, depending on who you listen to. The American public is certainly focused on Iraq and having a better situation come out of there. You have the African Union untested, underfunded. You have the United Nations soft in focus. Where do we start getting the political will and the military hardware to actually go in and make a difference and put a barrier, a protective barrier around these people?
Sure. Well, as Americans, we have huge leverage in the Security Council to get the UN to deploy a 20,000 peacekeeping force. But our strengths aren't necessarily with personnel. We don't necessarily need to deploy American boots on the ground. In fact, most experts say we shouldn't and don't need to. What the U.S. is really good at is logistics, having the cargo planes to transport more Rwandans, more Bangladeshis, and having satellite images to provide maps and provide intelligence. Those are things that the United States is really good at and we're not doing. So these are key ways that the U.S. can play a key role in stopping a genocide without having to put American boots on the ground.
Okay. Yes?
What's the main motivation for this genocide? Is it just out of pure hatred for these blacks, or is there another motivation behind it?
There's a few. Just like Hitler didn't commit the genocide by himself, he manipulated some anti-Semitism that already existed in Germany. The same thing with the Sudanese government. There's some tension between the different ethnic groups, between the farmers and the herders, between the Arabs, who are more the herders, and the blacks who are farmers. Because limited resources with a desertification makes the fertile land to raise crops a lot harder. So the Sudanese government says the reason why you're not able to farm as much or not able to help graze your herds as much is because they're black. So they're manipulating the people of Sudan and the Janjaweed to say that their problems are the black people and the solution is to exterminate the black people. So they're turning this into an ethnic conflict when it wasn't originally.
We told the students, you just graduated from college last year. What in the world made you think that you could take on such a huge task and make inroads and make a difference?
Sure. Well, could I just buy cards? How many guys have seen Hotel Rwanda?
Green card up if you've seen it. Red card if you've not seen it.
Okay, so good majority see Hotel Rwanda. Where similar to Schindler's List, you find individuals. Hotel Rwanda, he was a hotel manager. I don't think he had much more than a high school degree if he was able to finish high school. And I couldn't bear to be a bystander to genocide. I needed to know, I didn't know what I could do. I just knew I had to do something. So I was in the cafeteria with my friend just reading the newspaper about Darfur. And we just looked at each other and we said, well, what can we do about it? So that's really how it started, is that we just knew we had to be upstandards to genocide instead of bystanders.
We saw a lot of green cards. A lot of you all have seen that film. Tell me about your reaction to seeing the movie Hotel Rwanda, where once again you see a character in the film. We saw a lot of green cards, and I know someone came away with an impression. Yes, sir.
Hi, my name is Mike Moynihan. After watching the movie, I thought it was really powerful because it's a topic that a lot of times can't reach people of all ages, but the movie personalizes the story and shows human emotion, which can be understood by all.
And that touches on another issue. We talked earlier about the American media focus on celebrity. This is a story where the celebrities who have lent their face, their persona, their time to the issue goes a great way to raise awareness.
Definitely. George Clooney speaking at a rally in Washington, D.C., Mia Farrow just came back from Chad, and Angelina Jolie putting ads in USA Today. all of them have really used their leverage as celebrities to get more publicity and more attention from the American public to raise the awareness about Darfur. Because most people aren't indifferent to Darfur, they're just ignorant. So they've been really, really helpful.
They say timing is everything, certainly more than half the battle politically. We've just had an election. We have the Democrats about to take control of the Congress. Is this a good thing, or does it become more complicated because so many Americans, as you just said, are largely unaware of what can be done in Darfur and more concerned about Iraq and other conflicts?
Sure. Well, with the new Congress, fortunately, we're hopeful that they'll be even better than the previous Congress. The great thing about genocide is that it's been bipartisan at every step of the way. Senator Sam Brownback from Kansas with Barack Obama always have co-sponsored the same legislation on Darfur, with Durbin as well. So, and in the House as well, it's been bipartisan. The thing is that we see the United States, if we're able to look at Iraq but also focus on cutting taxes or building a base on the moon, we can walk and chew gum at the same time. As individuals, our government is able to address multiple issues. We should be able to look at Iraq and help stop a genocide in Darfur at the same time.
And our students should be able to, start drives on their own. I want to ask our students, we touched on this earlier, before I ask my question, there's someone standing up. No, I don't want to rain on your parade. You go first.
Why is the government so hesitant to act and help the people in Darfur?
Our government or the Sudanese government?
Our government.
Well, because they're just not hearing from enough of you guys. They don't think that this is an issue that's a huge priority. They hear more from Americans about Iraq, Iran, North Korea, gun rights, abortion, the environment, all these other issues. And we're trying to say that Americans care about Darfur, and we're trying to get more of you guys to call them and email them and visit their offices and say, Darfur is a priority for me. So they're sort of waiting to hear from you guys first.
I heard of an interesting catch-22 that if it's not on television, print editors often can't get a handle on it because it is hidden away, because the Sudanese government is getting the press out. If it's not on television or in the newspaper, that the politicians get kind of tired of hearing from NGOs about something that they're not seeing on the front page of the press.
Sure.
But you're saying that they really do still respond to individual citizens speaking out, contacting them, clamoring for more attention.
Absolutely. To know that their constituents who give them campaign dollars and votes every time that they run for election, they depend on them. The media, all the journalists, there's not enough of them to vote and to give them campaign dollars to win an election. They depend on American citizens. So that's where the real force is.
Yes, sir.